What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Trading Crypto. Today we're Goldfinch or GFI, which is down 6.8% at $3.53. So a lot of coins are bleeding now right now, which is normal before the halving. Stick around to the end. We're gonna do a little bonus. I'm gonna do a little bit of Bitcoin halving TA after Goldfinch TA, just to give you guys a little bit of insight of what normally happens before and after a halving, and how it will affect Goldfinch. So Goldfinch down 6.8% at $253 million market cap, $32 all-time high, and 29-cent all-time low. Currently available on the following markets: Coinbase, GetAO, BingX, MEXC, BitGet. So a lot of big exchanges there. So with that, let's get into the price prediction and technical analysis on GFI. All right, ladies and gentlemen, GFI right now actually isn't looking bad. I mean, we had a decent correction right here, as of all the altcoins have had. But if we look at the horizontal support where we're currently hovering on right now, this is a big support area that goes all the way back to 2022. This was a heavy resistance area on March of 2022 and April 2022, and was a support back in February 2022. So for us to be above this, that is fantastic. That is approximately at $3.50. So we do not want to break below 350 for GFI. If we happen to break below 350, the next support is at around $3. So we'll keep an eye on that, monitor it closely. And then if we draw our fib from the high to the low right here, if we do happen to break below that, that $3 to 3.10 is the 618 right here. So there is a small chance that we do head down to around 310 with a wick down to 3, but it is what it is, man. The halving's coming up, the parabolic phase is about ready to come in. If anything, this gives you more time to just DCA in. And then if we draw the fib from the high to the all-time low, or the bear market bottom here, what we can currently see is that 786 is sitting around a similar level at around $3. So if I had to make the assumption, I think we might tag $3 one more time, and that might be the lowest we get before the bull run actually starts getting fun. If we don't hit $3, then yeehaw, you're stuck at 350. It doesn't matter if I'm right or wrong, I don't get anything about out of it anyways. If we look at the indicators, we had a double top here on the WTX with a heavy capitulation to the downside. We're not showing any signs of slowing down yet, no signs of curving or anything. We're just still falling straight down there. If we look at the RSI, similar situation. We tried to break up to the upside here, we got rejected, and we're starting to head down lower on the RSI. On top of that, MACD is bearish. We didn't put in that large of an engulfing bearish candle today, so we'll monitor that. It just seems the bearish level is stagnant right here on the MACD. So short term, keep an eye on 325. You break below 325, I think there's a good chance that it's going to the 618, and then a run up from that point on. And you still would maintain your bullish momentum that you've been in since October 2023. Perfectly normal for that retracement. It's actually healthy for the coin to see corrections like that throughout its growth. You can see you have a high here at the 618, got rejected, went down to the 382, ran to the high, and we're either going to bounce off the 786, or we're to go back down to that 618 and put in a higher low. I think it'd be beneficial to bounce off the 618, but it is what it is. And that being said, like we mentioned at the beginning of the video, that $3.50, or what did I say? $3.25 support area. Yeah, 350, 325 support area was big resistance back in 2022. So hopefully it comes up as big support. We see a rally off that. But one of these should be the case here for GFI, just a slight pullback. And then once things start flipping fun again, we should start running to the moon. I wouldn't be shocked at all if this thing went to $40 plus during the bull run at all. What was the bull run high last time? 32.94 2 years ago. That was back here. So we'll keep an eye on it, guys. It doesn't look bad. I just think we have a little bit more correction to go before we see a bounce. And now let's just look at BTC halving real quick, just for you guys to get a little understanding of what normally happens before a halving here. If we go to the weekly here, each one of these lines is roughly around the halving period throughout Bitcoin's history. And if we go back to the very first halving right here, what we can currently see is Bitcoin before the halving did have a correction, and it was approximately a 30% correction before we started going up. And after the halving, we normally have about a month of sideways consolidation. You can see what happened after the first halving. We went sideways for about a month, 3 to 4 weeks, and then we just started going straight up. So that was the very first halving event for BTC. If we look at the second halving event, you can currently see something very, very similar. We dropped approximately 40% by the halving. And then what happened after the halving? We consolidated for about a month. You can see here, each one of these candles is a week. And then we started going straight up after that, having back in 2016. So what we're getting at here is we do see these heavy drops before the halving. They're shakeouts to get rid of the paper hands. They want you to get out so they can start pumping the coin. And obviously, our last Bitcoin halving, the one that's prior to the one that's coming up in 3 days, we had the COVID crash. The COVID crash sufficed as the drop before the halving, which was a nasty one, guys. Everyone remembers that if you're in crypto. That was a 62% correction on BTC. And then we had the halving. And what happened after the halving? We had about 4 or 5 weeks of sideways action, and then we started going straight up. So what I'm getting at here is the halving's coming up in 3 days. Normally after the halving, you have about 3 to 5 weeks of just sideways movement, and then you start going straight up. And prior to that, before the halving, like we're experiencing right now, you normally dip before the halving, and that's exactly what's coming here, guys. We have the halving, which is coming on the 20th, which if we move that over here, so there's a chance, very small chance, that we could be seeing that 30% correction, which could bring us down to around 50 to 52k BTC. But I'm not sweating it. We all know what happens. It's happened every single time. History doesn't repeat, but it does rhyme. Um, and we see the drop before the halving. After the halving, we have about a month of consolidation, and then we just start going straight up. So we're very close, guys. Hopefully you guys have diamond hands and haven't gotten shaken out yet. And how does that tie in the Goldfinch? Well, once we get out of the correction here on BTC and after the halving, that sideways consolidation that we experience on BTC, that's normally when altcoins see large runs. So for that month, or was that 3 to 5 weeks of consolidation after the halving, we normally see altcoins start to work their way back up and start making some gains. And then once BTC starts breaking out after that sideways consolidation, altcoins start going nuts. Which what I'm getting at here is this might be the last decent sized drop of Goldfinch before we start seeing some very, very, very volatile move to the upside. So with that, none of this is financial advice. And if there's any coins you'd like me to chart, you can just send me a super chat in the comments and I'll get to your coin as soon as possible. Thank you.